Wilson faced a similar dilemma. I just told you, World War I in 1917. He had a lot of things that he had to do. He had to change the minds of people. He created the Committee on Public Information using a hand-picked propaganda guru, George Creel, along with Edward Bernays. Okay? These guys are revered by most. I think they're some of the spookiest people alive. Walter Lippmann definitely is, and journalists practically genuflect when they hear his name. Bernays, he was great. The Nazis' top propagandist, Joseph Goebbels, kept copies of Bernays' writings in his own personal library. Creel sought to make associates out of the media, and then went on a mission to get all Americans to conform to the pro-war viewpoint. In fact, he said, and I may quote, "It was, of course, the astounding success of propaganda during the war that opened the eyes of the intelligent few in all departments of life to the possibilities of regimenting the public mind. It was only natural after the war ended that intelligent persons should ask themselves whether it was not possible to apply a similar technique to the problems of peace." Ooh. And they have. Wilson set the table by passing the Espionage Act of 1917 and then the Sedition Act in 1918. They empowered government to suppress and punish disloyalty and subversion, ban all seditious materials from the mail. Seditious materials at that time included anything that might impugn the motives of the government. That's sedition. If you define sedition the way Woodrow Wilson did, then I guess I understand why everyone says the Tea Party goers are anti-government and seditious. Hiram Johnson, progressive senator from California, said, "You shall not criticize anything or anyone in the government any longer, or you shall go to jail." Is that the America you want to live in? See, people say that that'll never happen in America, but it already has. And this isn't the only time. Once everything was set in motion, here's what happened. They made lists of the most dangerous Americans, people who just said that this is a bad thing. You can't do it. You're against the war? No, no, no. They used the DOJ to set up prison camps because they were grabbing all these people up. The Department of Justice prepared the list of people considered dangerous and attempted to register all male and female German aliens. By the end of the war, the U.S. government had arrested more than 4,000 people on charges ranging from espionage to just making pro-German statements. Prison barracks were established at military bases all around the country. Then you go back to California. They banned books. The California Board of Education, for example, banned the teaching of German in schools, calling it a language that disseminates the ideals of brutality and hatred. It's hatred, German. The states of Iowa and Nebraska banned instruction of any foreign language in schools. In Cincinnati, the public library was asked to withdraw all German books from the shelves. The Red Cross then decided that they had to ban any German Americans working with a German name. They couldn't be in the organization. German names were scrubbed from buildings and streets. I told you last night, Schmidt became Smith, Mueller became Miller. In Minnesota, there was a minister that was tarred and feathered because he was overheard praying with a dying woman in German. Tarred and feathered for praying with a woman in German. It gets worse. In southern Illinois, a man was lynched in 1918 for no apparent reason except he happened to be of German descent. That's really interesting here because what Wilson did is excused and promoted PC violence. What happened? What happened to the group of people that lynched a man of German descent? Well, the propaganda was so heavy by this point that the jury insisted they were really only doing what had to be done. It was a patriotic act. Lynching. In 1917, private volunteers, with the open endorsement of the Attorney General of the United States, formed an American Protective League called APL. Okay? A.G. Thomas Gregory called the APL a patriotic organization. It was assisting the heavily overworked federal authorities in keeping an eye on disloyal individuals and making reports on disloyal utterances. Wow, that's good, isn't it? Disloyalty. The APL, by the end of the war, the organization had 250,000 members who defined their mission as spying on their neighbors, eavesdropping on suspicious conversations, intercepting and opening mail and telegrams of people suspected of being disloyal to the government, and reporting to the authorities any evidence of disenfranchisement with the war effort. Other similar groups included, and please, I ask you, we have been looking for the last couple of days for pictures of these. This history has been so cannibalized. We can't find anything, but I know you can. Look for pictures and things on the National Security League, the American Defense Society, and I love this one, the Boy Spies of America. They were modeled after the Boy Scouts. This history has been erased. Search everything you can. Try to find anything on the Boy Spies. We couldn't find anything. Watchdogs, email us for this. Put it on Twitter and email us at becktips@foxnews.com.